Good morning, Shravani.
Good morning. Is someone in the theater? Rama, I think you should remove the setting where in which you have half the people.
I just saw that.
Yeah. Gautami, I think you should mute your audio.
So far we have 12, so we'll start once it's 20, okay?
Hey, hello Rama.
Hi.
So when is it likely to start?
It's gonna start in the next 5 minutes. Hope so.
Okay.
So far we have 11 participants. So once it's close to 20, then we'll start.
Okay, sure.
Cool. Good morning, Kalyan.
Good morning, Macha. Hello.
Good. We have Shravani here.
Hi, Kalyan.
Hi.
Arvind, are you able to join? Arvind? Yeah, I guess he's on. Okay, we have passed the 5 minutes. Good morning, people.
Good morning
Uh,
here. I think you should probably say good evening.
Well, a good day it is to where you guys are in the world. So, myself, Rama, I'm a current UD student, and meet Shravani and Kalyan. We guys are from the Indian Student Association team for UD College. Okay, so today the agenda of this meeting is like to answer your basic questions that most of you guys have and have been asking me all these days. So this is the first event that my ISA team have brought up, like to talk to you people and answer most of your doubts. So initially I'll present a PPT wherein I've picked like close to 9 questions that I want to answer today. And once that is done, you guys can go ahead and ask your questions. Is it clear to everybody? Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, Rama.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I have a call from a previous ISA president. Hello. Okay, so I'll start by answering the questions that I've mentioned here in PPT. So this is specifically about University of Dayton. Okay, I've mentioned it address in there. It's a Maronist community. Okay, it's been founded in 1850. It's got a lot of core principles. Like overall, I can say it's a very disciplined college. Sorry for the interruption, guys. I have to accept people inside the meeting, so
That's what I said. Just remove the setting of it.
now you know how to do that.
Yeah, just go to the advanced sections.
Yep,
I mean, advanced options.
I guess I
I
just
think you
did.
should find it. Yeah.
I got it. Thank you. Okay, so the topmost question that I picked for today is the visa success rate. So a lot of people have been asking, like, is this university something that's considered by the embassy people? Wherein do these guys accept our visas? Like, how many tries should I have been doing? So, guys, one thing I would like to say today, it's not about any specific college that the embassy or any visa agent, like any visa person, like looks at you to approve your visa. It all depends on your confidence, like the way you answer his questions and the way you present your financial documents. Okay, so if there is anything that's based on this university, it's just that is it a what do they say? Like in India, we have this accreditation, right? Is it NAAC accredited or there are? I know there's some talk in India wherein they say some blacklisted college or something like that. So UD is never close to that. Okay, UD has got its reputation. It's a private college and a managed college in Dayton area. So you guys need not fear whether if you guys are like opting for UD and have any fear of getting visa rejected. So there's nothing like that. So we have fair chances. I myself personally got my visa approved on a first attempt. Like it just took like what do you say, like 2 minutes for visa person to approve my visa. He just asked few basics. Hello?
You can't hear him.
You guys can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Is my voice audible now?
Chandra, I think you should up your volume or something like that. Yeah.
Okay, what I was saying, I'll repeat that for you guys. That visa approval is solely dependent upon your luck and the way that you guys present yourself on that day. Okay, so you need not relate everything with college success rate and all. And for the facts, it's 72% for UD. Okay, that's my first answer for today. And the second answer that I picked for today is on-campus jobs. So a lot of people, before you guys even get your I-20s and all, most of you guys are worried about your part-time jobs. So what I would like to say, get your I-20s, okay, prepare well for your visas, pack all your stuff, spend good time with family, and once you come here to UDs, especially, we got a lot of on-campus jobs going around, and I can say more than 80% of our Indian students, they do some part-time job on campus. Okay, so we have like close to 3 dining centers, which like these guys like accommodate more than like 60 to 70 people, just the dining centers. Okay, apart from that, they are bookstores, they are libraries, they are like assistant professors, like you guys can join as TS and GS for professors. You guys can work in the gym. There are a lot of opportunities for on-campus jobs. Okay, and this thing will be open for you guys once you have your UD email ID. Okay, I mentioned that as an example below, abcd@judaton.edu. Once you guys get your Judaton email IDs, you can go ahead apply for that. Download an application, an app that says Handshake. Just give me 1 second.
Okay, people, let him continue the meeting. Whatever questions you have, we'll answer all of them in the end. Okay. I think his presentation will take about 10 to 15 minutes. He'll finish it off and then we can have questions. Okay.
Okay, so coming back to your on-campus jobs, you will have your college email IDs. Once you get that, download an application called Handshake. You can even get that online, like in a web portal. Once you go there, mention your college name, University of Dayton, and then drop in your college email ID, whether you are a graduate or an undergraduate. And depending on that, you'll have your jobs which are open for you guys. That's how you apply for on-campus jobs. And then it's a 20-hour limit for everybody, for an international student, and they'll pay you like a $9 per hour. Okay, that's your payment and your on-campus job information. And the third question is regarding how you can register for courses. Okay, so this again depends on your email ID that the college provides. Once you have that, you guys can log into Portius, which is again a college website. Okay, a quick demonstration for you guys. We'll have 2 portals which most of the students will be using. One of them is Portius and the other one is an Isidore. Isidore contains all the information regarding our registered courses, and before registering to any course, we need to get into Portius and follow a few steps wherein you can register for courses. Shravani or Kalyan, would any of you like to take this opportunity to demonstrate how to register for classes?
Yeah, sure.
Just show them how you can register.
Okay. Initially, you guys need not worry about registering for classes. I think you will be given a chance in the orientation or inauguration meeting that will be held for you when you come here. But then Kalyan will be showing you how to register. I mean, so that you'll be you'll be quick in registering on the day of inauguration or orientation. Kalyan, go ahead.
I don't think I can share the screen. Can you make me a co-host?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm just controlling your screen now. Can you make me a co-host?
Just give me 1 second, Kalyan.
Yeah.
Rama, you stop sharing the screen first and then just go to the advanced options.
I just made him a host.
Okay, then that's fine.
Okay.
So this is the basic website. This is where you guys actually go to register the classes and check your payment center, and everything's in there. It's kind of everything's together in there. It's a new design now. I think they redesigned it like a month ago. So you just log in with your UD email and UD ID and then your password. And then to people who actually work at the university, you have to do this two-factor authentication too. It's a security concern for them. So we gotta enable this. Let me just get that real quick. So this is how the website actually looks like, the Porsches, after you actually like log in. So here's the human resources, and we mostly use Fly Student Services just for to register the classes and everything. So when you go down, it's right here, registration. These are the actual tools we use to register classes. View holes, you guys actually have to view holes before you register anything, because when you have any holes on your account, you can't register to any classes or anything for the semester. So this will tell you if you have any holes on your account, for example, medical holes, if you don't provide your insurance, or if you don't give them your vaccination, then they'll put some holes on your account. So you got to look out for that too. And also here's the payment center, and the registration is right here. So after you check your holes, you just go to the search and register for classes. When you hit that, you get this screen. So you can search for classes from here, browse classes, and then you register the classes from there too. It's pretty self-explanatory. Let me just show you guys how it's done. So you select the semester. For us, it's fall 21. So let me get that, and then I'm from computer science. So let's type in computer science and then hit search, and this is how it is. This is just to browse the classes. To actually register for the classes, let me just show you guys how it's done. There you go. Again, semester and your branch. There you go. When you get to this page, you just search for classes you like, basically. So for our school or any school here, you actually like you get a choice. You can register for classes you actually like, and you just have to finish like 10 courses before to graduate. So it's pretty much your choice, except for maybe 4 courses or 3 courses which are mandatory to take, like APDS for computer science students and also DBMS. So except apart from those courses, you can take basically any other course in computer science above 499, that is. So it's got to be above 499 for us because we're grad students. So anything below 499 mostly won't count, but it depends though. You can just speak to us.
Excuse me, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kalyan.
Yeah.
That's so much information that you're putting on plate for them for a single day.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's so
just
overwhelming.
concentrate on how we can register for a subject. That's it.
So yeah, here's a subject. It's schematics and knowledge. So we just hit add. It will be right here. So it says register for web, and then you submit. That's it. For me, it's I think there is it's totally full, so I'm not able to register the classes. So it's the classes I'm already registered to. It's right here, advanced computer vision and special topics. Right. That's it.
Thank you.
Do someone wants to listen to this again? No, I hope he was successful in making you guys understand that there's a process wherein you need to follow to register for subjects, and that there are a lot of options that are available for you guys.
Yep.
Yep. Thank you so much, Kalyan. I'll head back to my PPT, wherein you help me clear a slide of mine. Thank you so much for that.
Don't worry about it, man.
Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. So, is this something related with the host problem?
Yeah, I think ask Kalyan to make the host now.
Yeah. Yep, I think so.
Yep.
That happens.
You guys can see my screen, the PPT?
No.
No?
Yes.
Okay. So we are back to answering that questions that you guys have asked initially. So how to register for the courses is done, and a few of you have asked me about the faculty of computer science. Okay, how supportive are they? Tell me about student and faculty ratio. So to be clear about the faculty and student ratio, the university provides that it's 1:14. Am I right, Shravani or Kalyan? 1:14 or 1:15, something like that.
It's usually like that, but in few cases it might be a little more. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's usually 1 to 4.
Like the student ratio might be more. That's what you guys are saying.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Few classes.
Okay. So it usually is like this, like one faculty for 15 or 16 of student, like that. Okay, the professors that are in here are very helpful. I personally had a very good experience talking to them, approaching them whenever I need something. So once I reached a professor regarding the way I can choose the courses. Okay, so which I approached the professor to ask which semester, what subjects am I supposed to pick. So he clearly, like very openly told to me that a process wherein I can follow, so that it might be a cumulative process for me. Imagine taking a subject which is a prerequisite for another subject. A prerequisite in the sense you have to complete this subject so that you can pick up another subject. So professor helped me in this. So you guys can approach any faculty of UD, any department faculty of UD and ask a question. So that's not a big deal. They are friendly, they are supportive. That's for the faculty part. Thank you. If you guys don't know, like, who are your faculty, you can go ahead, check it in your wherein this subjects will be available, wherein you can register for your courses. If you guys can see the column wherein it mentions professor, you can check out for all the professors that are available for each department. Okay, coming to my fifth question, budget. So how much should I need to spend for, wait, let me read that. What is the final budget for 2 years, including all expenses for the people who got direct admit instead of AMAP? Okay, before I answer this question, I would like to emphasize on difference between the AMAP and a regular or direct admit. Okay, I've been following the group very closely, the WhatsApp group. A lot of people are very much worried if their registration that they got is for AMAP. Okay, AMAP stands for Accelerated Masters Program. Okay, so if you guys are into AMAP, that means that you guys need to finish an additional coursework to be graduated. Rather than a direct admit wherein you get on to like directly join your subjects, finish up 30 credits, done with your masters. But if you're into AMAP, you still need to do that 30 credits. Along with that, you need to take 2 more subjects that will that will be like 3 credits each. That will be 6 credits in total. Okay, so $1,000 is what we are approximating for each credit. Each credit hour. That might not be a fixed one. It was 985 in the summer and I mean the spring and fall semester, but we had it close to $700 in like a summer semester, wherein this pandemic has started. So the college has reduced that per credit hour fees, so that will make a lot of difference. So if someone asks me what is the budget for 2 years, okay, so 30 into 1,000, $30,000 for your tuition. Along with that, $2,000 for your health insurance. It will be roughly 35 for your tuition fee and another 5K for your 1 year of accommodation and other living expenses. Once again, my team has answered this question saying that the accommodation and living expense cost completely depends on your lifestyle, how often you go out to eat, and how much of amount you spend for your entertainment. Okay, I'll answer this question once again when if you guys have anything in depth related to this that you guys want to ask me. Okay, I'll go ahead to the next question. What are the chances of getting part-time jobs on campus? So there's a fair chance, guys. I'm not sure if I can say it's 100%, but you guys will get a job on campus. Need not worry about part-time jobs. Okay, a job opportunities once you're done with your masters. Okay, the job market in America is quite different from what it's back in India. Okay, it's not like you study in a university which is more popular and then you get a job quickly. It's not like that. It completely depends on your skill set, how quickly you network. Okay, and how you apply for jobs. There's a process here. Like you all have fair chances, you all have availability to, like, I mean, you all can join different companies. It's completely dependent upon you. Okay, see, suppose think a person is there who's got a nice skills, like pretty enough, and he doesn't apply to a lot of jobs. And think of a person who has a fair chance of a skill set, but he applies to a lot of jobs. So the ratio who can get a job early, I know you guys can answer that question. So it all depends on you, irrespective of the college that you're studying, irrespective of the location in America that you're staying. Okay, and coming to UD, we guys have career fairs wherein they bring in a lot of companies, and we guys can go talk to the employers, and then we can share our emails to them and our resumes to them, and then they can get back to us. That's how it worked. Like I personally attended a career fair back when I joined, like after my first semester. So it was a nice one. So I got a chance to talk to a lot of new people. So that's how it works for you guys too. Okay, I got 2 more questions, guys. And then we'll go ahead for your Q&A session. Okay. Can we work, last second question for me here. Can we work as RATA after our first semester? Are we paid for that? So I don't know who mentioned that first semester, after first semester, you guys can start right away after you get your admission in UD. You guys can message to professors, send in your profiles, your experience, what all you know in that area, in that field specifically. And once the professor is like, he's okay with whatever you know, like he's impressed with the way that you're presenting yourself, maybe he can offer you an RA and TA position. And yes, they pay for that. Even the payment, it's around $9 to again. Wait, our Shravani right here is a TA for NLP subject. So I would request if she can share anything about this.
Okay. See, as Rama said, you can approach the professor and you can share your interest, you can share your profile with them. And if they like your work and if their research interest collaborates with you, they'll definitely hire you. The RA Position, I think only a few professors hire it, but TA, each and every professor has them. So you can ask them for TA, but to be a TA, you have to finish uh, studying that subject or taking that subject in your semesters. Um, so yeah, coming to the salary, if it's a student grader or teaching assistant, it's $9 per hour. If it's RA, then it's $12 or 14 or 15 or it depends upon the funding of the professor. So you can actually get more money if you are RA than TA. You can
RE in the
actually
sense
abroad.
research assistant, right?
Research assistant, yes, research assistant. I've been research assistant in the last semester, and now I'm TA for one of the subjects, NLP, natural language processing.
Okay. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shravani. The last question for today: how is the difficulty level of the program? So, guys, you guys are coming for masters, so this is not a place where you ask how difficult it is. Okay, so yeah, it will be a little difficult if you are like new to whatever subject that you're choosing. But if you have a little knowledge of any subject that you're picking, it's not that easy. What I felt personally, I'm from an electronic and computer science department. Currently, I'm pursuing computer science. So to transition from ECE to CS, it hasn't been very difficult for me. So I hope you guys don't find it difficult too. So even if you guys find it difficult, you guys have a lot of seniors around you. We have a strong
You get help.
community. Yeah, you guys can ask and approach us. So that's it. That's my part. So if you guys have any questions, please go ahead, ask one by one. I'll see to what extent I can answer your doubts.
Okay, whatever Rama has presented, it's all professional. I know that there are a lot of questions that are unprofessional. You can ask any question. I mean,
You
how
can
to
ask
pack your
that kind of questions in
bags.
the groups.
Yeah, how to pack your bags or what to bring to the US or goes on.
And thank you guys for joining this event today. I'm open for Q&A. Me, Kalyan and Shravan will answer your questions now.
Our previous ISA president Kushal is also here. You can ask him. I mean, he's well experienced, so
Alice here.
you can.
Oh. Welcome,
Hi,
Kushal, to the meeting here.
Okay, we have a question from Divya. Is the university and lecturers really strict? Is it like school? Okay, I have answered this question question in the chat, but then I'll answer it again. No, it's not like a school. But yeah, the professors are really cool. They talk to you. They converse in the lectures. It's not like school. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, but if you feel it's like school, it'll be like school. Just just chill out. Do your part time on campus. Do your have some like lectures from the professor, and then you can still have fun on campus as well. Like there are many events going on campus every day, each and every day. So it's really not like school, Divya. Yeah.
Any other questions? Okay, I've seen many people asking about how to register, how to get the credentials. You can get the credentials beforehand, before the orientation itself. You can just drop in a mail to your advisor asking that you need credentials. So they'll give you a mail address and one-time password that you can use to change your passwords. And then I think you have to register for multi-factor authentication on, what's that app? I'm sorry, Kushal
It's a
or
Duos.
Your mobile.
Your mobile.
yeah, I think it's Duo Mobile. You have to register for multi-factor authentication. I think you can do that stuff after coming here. Don't worry. Just enjoy your time with your family for now.
We have another question. Internship opportunities in Dayton City.
Okay, there is one more question. Is it okay to join through AMAP program? Yes, absolutely.
That's completely
But then
okay.
Yes.
I think you just have to do one course extra if you come to that program. Don't worry about it. There are many seniors who have come through AMAP program. And yeah, okay.
Kalyan, you want to share anything about, is it fine to join AMAP program?
Definitely, guys. AMA program is just like you just have to take an extra course, maybe like an English course. It's pretty
Yeah.
chill. The professors really connect with you. You guys get to talk about your life experiences, and it's really cool. I mean, you will have a great experience if you do end up coming through the AMA program. I'm not saying you won't, but yeah, it's really fine.
One advantage that I can talk about AMAP, like you guys will, like AMAP classes are the most diverse classes in
Oh,
computer science department. Like you'll have people from different countries, like you'll get a different exposure. That's different.
I think that's actually better going through that program. Okay, how is the internship opportunities in Dayton City? Who's going to answer it? I think Rama is actually doing an internship. I think he'll answer this question better.
Okay, cool. Okay, so internship opportunities, guys. Again, we have a question for opportunities. It's completely depend upon how you manage your time, how you manage your courses, how you approach companies, how you apply for them. So I myself have attended career fair, which I told you guys earlier. So I provided my details to a lot of companies who have attended that career fair. So few of them approached me back, few of them didn't. But whoever has replied to me saying that some positions are available and like so and so dates, I quickly responded to them saying, am I available to like join them for an internship or not? But the internship that I am currently working, I got it from Project Management UD Group. There's a PMUD club that's in Dayton in our university. So I approached them saying that I am currently available to do an internship. So they provided me with multiple companies that suit my profile, and one of them has given me an opportunity to do that. So I've been doing it for like past 5 months. It's an unpaid internship still, but that's fine. I have an internship. That's what I can say.
Yeah, I
You
can
you
share
have
my
a fair chances
experience
for
during
that.
I can share my experience during my batch. Like most of the students got their internship through Handshake application. It's the same application where we get on-campus jobs too. So you can still apply on Handshake from the day one itself, like whenever you join UD. But I think you'll be getting internships as soon as 1 year at UD. So you can still apply internships from day one itself, but it still depends on like the day when you get CPT approved from college for all the internships. And then yeah, internships, I think it's like luck based, as like many apply on Handshake, but only few resumes will be shortlisted, and then only few resumes will be selected for the interviews, and then only few will be selected for the internships and the final end. So yeah, I can say like there are plenty of opportunities on Handshake. If as soon as you come here, you'll be getting your login credentials, and then you can log in through Handshake application, and then you can apply on-campus jobs. You can apply internships, and then later on, when you graduate, you apply full-time jobs to Handshake also. So there are plenty of opportunities for internship, and this is my experience, which I have gone through my batch.
Okay, the next question is how is Corona in Ohio? What are the precautions? Is there any lockdown? No, there is no lockdown.
well, not anymore.
What are the precautions? The precautions are pretty simple. Wear mask, sanitize your hands, maintain the social distance.
But one
Those
thing
are
I
all.
can say, guys, whatever you guys are watching in TV on news, that isn't
Okay,
true. What's the case that's
especially
right
the
here?
TV9.
Okay, they like they show it in a very large scale, like for a small issue, like they emphasize it in a magnifying glass. So don't believe that. Talk to us, talk to any other guys that you guys know from America, and know the actual facts. Like, is it that scary in here? No, not really.
Also, the university is in containment zone. So once all the students come, it's hardly. It's always in green zone. That's pretty good. People do not actually come in after after the university is in containment zone. So the risk of corona is
mandatory
like,
quarantine. That's what we're saying.
how is Dayton City? If you ask me, I want to settle down in Dayton. It's a cool place.
It's a
It's
small one,
peaceful. Yeah, it's a small one. It's peaceful.
though.
Biggest in Ohio.
Don't
So,
restrict yourself to a single state. Like, Do your masters from any college and explore the America. That's what I can say. That's what I've been told from my cousins who stay here.
Be open for the opportunities.
So I
Kushal's
have a
lucky.
question.
Kushal's lucky place is Ohio. Ohio State. Ask him.
Yeah, I've been in
Yeah, I
America for
have a
almost more than
question.
2 years. Yeah.
Sorry if I'm interrupting.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we are
Manav,
all
go
there
ahead.
for international exposure there. How diverse are the classes?
It
Like,
depends
what
on
do you
class.
want? Like people from different community to join your class, or what do you mean?
Yeah. So let's say if in a class of 30, is it 15 Indians, 15 international people?
You
Or
can't give an exact number. What I can say,
yeah,
yes, we have people from different countries joining with us, but it also depends on the subject that you're picking. Like if you pick a DBMS, like database subject, a lot of Indians do that. A lot of Americans or different people from different communities, they don't pick that subject. Like if you take a subject that's interesting, like deep learning, okay, so
okay.
you get to experience people from different. You even have undergraduate people who are coming to like choose that subject. So it's like that. It depends on the subject.
Okay. So one more thing. Do you feel UD should improve in any area considering international student?
Like UD should improve. I don't know. I'm not the person to judge. Like to comment on this. Like for me, the facilities that they guys have been providing me, they're like fair enough for me. Like if my university acts as a source that can launch me into society to a job, that's a fair deal. That's what I can ask from that. So I would like Kushal to say something on this. Like, do you think university should improve on any aspect? That's what the question was. Am I right, Manohar? Is that your
Yeah,
question?
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
correct.
what, according to my experience, I think university, I think maybe the ratio, like during my batch, there are like a lot of students in each class. So I think, so according to me, university should have maybe have increased few classes for few courses. Like there are few courses which is like compulsory to do those courses. So at least for those courses, at least like university should have increased some more classes so that each and every student will be like have a chance to like have a chance to what do you say, to rely on
Pursue
the
them.
professor or rely on the TA, or else to have a chance to have more more experience with the teammates, and then have a chance to interact like have more interactive sessions when when there is less students in each class. So due to that reasons, like the professor can't interact with each and every student. So at least for few courses, like DBMS one, and then like algorithm design. So these are some important like compulsory courses which have to be done in UD, as like they are like maybe like what do you say, compulsory
Complaint courses.
Okay.
Yes.
compliant courses. So yeah, at least for those courses, like the staff has to be more, and then classes should be more, and then sections should be more, so that students can choose those sections, and then each section I think maybe 15 to 20 members will be enough. But in my class there were like 60 members for DBMS with Buckley's. So I don't think that is more efficient or effective way of teaching subjects. So only that is the only drawback which I have seen with Judy. But I think that is resolved with your batch. I don't know how it's going right now. We
It's
already
going
raised this
pretty
complaint
No,
good.
long
there,
ago.
there's always chaos in selecting the subjects and registering for the classes. But then, yes, I've seen the classes have been like added in the end of the registration process,
Depending on the
just
student.
right before the semester or something like that. Okay, we have a
Guys,
lot of questions.
yeah,
Okay.
that's what I was going to talk. We have a lot of questions in the chat section, so let's get on them very quickly.
Okay, when we arrive at the airport, will there be any university representative available to pick us up?
Yep.
I think you guys
Yes,
get
you.
a code. You can just book a lift using that code, and it will drop you off to your address. It's pretty easy, guys. So you can always call us. We'll be more than happy to help you guys. So don't worry about it. It's pretty fine.
Okay. You get the details.
Next question.
Very
I'll read on
quickly.
the guys, Kanuri, Kalyan and Kushal bro. I'll read on the questions for you guys. So whoever
Okay.
want to pick an answer, let's do that. Okay. So the next
Okay.
question is, can we expect fall classrooms classes? What is that?
Yes, the university is planning on
mean?
that.
Yeah, in class. Okay, got it.
Definitely.
Okay.
The next
Yeah.
question is 15-day quarantine mandate. How do we shop if so?
Okay. Let me be honest. I don't think anyone is following this, but if you follow this, that's good for the community, if you ask me. Once you come here, just at least quarantine for 7 days. And if you need anything, just text Rama or anyone in the ISA so that people will come to you and will help you with any stuff that you need to buy or that you need for adjusting here.
Okay.
I
How
think,
much you still have to
but
answer?
quarantine, guys, I mean, it's good for the people around you. We don't know what we are carrying here, right? I mean, you're traveling from India to USA. So I think it's better you quarantine.
Okay, the next question. How much amount can we bring in hand to America? How to open account here?
Oh,
I think it's safe to bring not a lot of cash. Maybe around $1,000 is good enough for you guys to maybe last a couple of months. But you can open an account in Chase Bank. We all have like an account with Chase. It's just like 5-minute drive from here. So we'll get to the deets after you guys come here. It's not necessary right now. But yeah, you guys can get cash for now. But I don't think you should get a lot. I mean, it's up to you guys. But I don't think it's safe to get a lot of cash for now. Maybe
okay.
around
There's another way. You
I
can
myself, I got
carry.
500.
Okay.
I got $100.
Okay. I don't recommend lot of cash, but you can always put your amount in Forex card if you want to. If you can take a Forex card from ICICI, HDFC, or SBI, or from any bank in the India, you can get a Forex card and you can put or load your money in Forex card. Once you come here, after you set up Chase Bank and all, you can transfer your amount from Forex card to Chase.
Okay, I'll go for the next question. What will be the tuition fee
I
for
think
AMAP?
Kushal wants to speak
So,
something.
just to make sure, like you're not supposed to carry more than $10,000.
Yes.
So just
I
to
was
make sure the limit, but still you can carry like 9,000, 7,000, 6,000. But it's better you don't carry a lot of cash so that it will be difficult for you to handle. Yeah.
Yep. So
Next.
if someone asks me, is there a fixed amount? Guys, I spoke to a lot of my batchmates, so most of them got $500, not more than that.
I think Forex card is you can use Forex card anywhere, so that's good. Maybe
That's another good option too.
cash handy, maybe around $50-$100. If you feel like you would want a little more, maybe up to 500 is good. But we wouldn't recommend a lot of cash though.
Okay, so I'll
Put
quickly
just
move on to the next
$100 in
question.
cash and the other amount is in Forex. Okay.
We have like 11 minutes, 10 minutes now, so let's get on the questions quickly.
Okay.
Okay, so what will be the tuition fee for AMAP? Okay, I'll answer this. Guys, AMAP, there's no different fee. It's that you need to like pay for additional 6 credits. That's it. It's the same fee for direct plus an additional 6 credit fee. That's
Okay. One credit carries like $955 something.
Yeah,
like
one
that.
credit like
one
it's
credit is
$985.
$955.
all.
985. Okay.
How many days the college would be?
As in?
What is that? So I guess they're asking about how many days in a week that you need to go to college. It's depending upon how you choose your subject. There are subjects wherein professors teach only on Tuesday and Thursday. If you pick 2 subjects which are on the same days, that will be like 2 days. In an entire week, you'll be only going to college for 2 days. If you pick subjects wherein professor teach you for Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 3 days. If you pick
Another subject.
like if you pick a mix of these two, then you need to be going to college for the entire 5 days. So it depends on how you choose your subjects. Not every subject is taught every day. Okay, it's like that. And next question, before joining computer science program, what programming language should we learn? What programming language?
Okay, you learn Java or Python in your first semester after coming here in advanced programming and data structures. So So if you ask me, you don't have to particularly learn any language before joining computer science, but you can always follow the basics. I mean, just go what programming language is and how important is syntax or how important is logic. Just get the grip on the basics and you'll do just fine.
Okay, guys, I'll give you a generic answer. So if this question is for computer science students, imagine what a computer engineering or electrical engineering, there are multiple master's courses are provided, right? So each one, like go visit that website, see what courses that they're providing you and learn anything that's relevant to that. That's it. We can't just give you a generic term, learn Java, learn Python. Okay. So learn anything that's related to your subject, just so that it will help you once you guys are here.
Okay.
Okay. The next question.
Programming languages that I needed in my master's is MATLAB, Python, and Java. That's it.
That's for the computer science people. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So the next question, can you please share the climate conditions in Ohio? Tushar, please.
12 degrees,
Yeah,
10 degrees now, maybe 11 degrees. So it's really good outside. But about the climatic conditions, it kind of gets really cold in winters, and then maybe a little hot. It'll be on the hotter side in summers. You'll get to experience the whole 9 yards. So you can see, you get to see snow, and you get to kind of drench yourself in sweat. So it depends on the.
Yeah, it really depends.
Climatic conditions, I'll state what I know. It's
thing,
not too extreme.
Always check the weather app before you step outside. Always check the weather app.
Yeah, always.
It's not extreme when compared to either northern or the other western sides. Okay, it's fairly okay. Okay, the next question.
It's
Are
cold,
Indian
dude. It's
food,
cold.
are Indian food and provisions? Come on, guys. You guys are coming to America. What do you expect? Hyderabadi culture and
Expect
heat
it
like
to be warm
Maharashtra?
at
No,
least.
it's okay. It's fairly cold. Okay, I'll move on to the next question. Guys, we have 7 minutes. Are Indian food and provisions
And
available?
professions.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, they are. You get pani puri too. Don't worry.
Yes.
You get puri, but you have to make pani at home.
Okay. How can money be sent from India to America?
Wire transfer. You have wire transfer, and you can directly load it to your Forex card if you have a Forex card.
Guys, now I'll quickly pace on. Please don't mind. Okay. Is there some PC for tuition fee waiver for TA RA position? Shravani?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
But they still consider for GA. Okay.
Yeah,
Graduate assistant.
But
you can. We'll discuss this.
Let us be honest. Let's be honest. How many students have got GA positions? Only Mehdi Zadgam hires GA. Only the professor. I'll give you his name. The professor name is Mehdi Zadgam. Only he hires GA, and you need to check in with him constantly whether his GA position is vacant, so that you can apply.
Kalyan and Shravani, can you guys read the next set of questions? I'll bring on.
Yeah, sure. Sure. What are the program? Okay, that's done. Do the students have freedom in selecting the electives or its predefined courses in UD? No, the students have the option of selecting the courses.
If you're planning to go outside computer science or outside your branch, then you're gonna have to speak with your head. So, like you got,
okay, yeah.
You
just have to drop in mail. Yeah. Okay. How are assignments difficulty level? Do they check plagiarism?
Okay, assignment difficulty level. It depends on the professor really. Mostly everything like it's all about the class. So if you're pretty consistent with the class, then you won't find it really difficult. If you ask me,
do they check plagiarism? Yes, they do.
Definitely.
What to prefer, to stay in hostel or outside the university?
Okay.
Campus. That might be a question.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, someone answer it. What to prefer?
Okay.
I mean,
I'll answer this, Shravani. So by hostel, I guess they mean staying on campus.
Okay.
So yes, staying on campus is still affordable. Like it's still okay, but compared to how much you're gonna spend if you stay outside campus and inside campus, that's way too much. And
Okay.
if you ask me, are there any Indian students? I would say there are barely any students who stay on
On
campus. So
campus.
because if you are like walking for a 5 more minute from on campus, that will be wherein you stay along with your other student community. And the price
Okay, there are
difference
other
that you have,
there are other important questions.
yeah, go
Will
ahead.
2000 USD paid initially deducted from first semester fees?
Yes, that counts for your insurance, the $2,000, I
Health,
think.
health insurance, and you get a lot of stuff from it. Don't worry about it. Your 2000 is safe. How does your average day look like?
You want a picture of?
Uh,
Dude, you know, time in America, it runs so fast. Okay. It runs
And it's so organized. I mean, I think you will have a picture of your day before starting it. Will you guys help us if we need any help after we start? Absolutely.
Absolutely, guys.
Can you bring any medicines like for fever, headache, in handy? Yeah, I
As
think
long as you have
we'll also provide you the list of medicines that you should bring here before. I mean, I think we should do another session on how to pack your bags.
Yeah, seriously, I'll tell you guys, I'll do one separate session wherein I'll tell you guys what to bring, what not to bring. Okay. People usually tend to bring a lot of stuff that they don't require here. You get a lot of stuff here that you guys don't know currently, but hopefully I'll do a session soon.
Okay, current research which was going now in computer
Guys,
science.
you guys can look at that in our website. Go ahead, select the research part. There's so
I
much
think
research that's happening.
I think you learn a lot more when you browse through the university website
Yep.
than we speaking about it.
how LinkedIn works.
It's not updated, bro. Really?
What's that?
It's not updated.
Guys,
Is it not updated?
I would like to share a few things. So there are multiple ways that you guys can reach out to students. Okay, one is we have a Indian student community page on Instagram. Okay,
Can you post a link on chat maybe? They can, yeah.
okay. I posted a Google form wherein I wanted you guys to provide some feedback on this session today. What you would like us to add in the next session. And I'll share the links for the ways you guys can communicate to us via Instagram, via Facebook page. Okay, I'll drop
Instagram
that
page.
in the group. Cool.
I think we have another
Okay.
question. Deja,
What are the
Another question for
opportunities
1 more minute, guys, and then the
engineering?
meeting will end.
engineering
Okay.
management after graduation.
What are the opportunities for engineering management students after graduation at Ohio? Are there any engineering management students here? I don't think so.
No, I'm not from engineering management, but there's a friend of mine who was my roommate. Okay. Yes, there are opportunities for not just engineering management or computer science, for every department, whether you have whether you join to any department. Once you have your graduation, there are multiple ways that open for you guys. It's up to you how you look at it. Okay. In Ohio specifically, dude, come on, it's everywhere in America. So you have options, opportunities. US is a land of opportunities, man. Cool. I guess that's all. I'll end the meeting now. Can you share the graduation rate in UD?
Am I not in the group of fall 2021? Can you not add me?
I don't know. Hopefully I'll add you guys soon. Okay, guys, thank you for joining. We'll meet another day soon. I've recorded this session. I'll drop it on YouTube and I'll post the links to every one of you. So if you guys want to watch or listen to any of the answers that we have provided now, feel free to. And any more questions, hopefully next week or the coming week, I'll schedule another session wherein I'll have my other teammates too. You can talk to them, and hopefully I'll bring people from engineering management or people who are currently pursuing AMAP. Okay, so that will be helpful for you guys because a lot of questions are on those terms. Okay, cool. Then thank you for joining, guys. Have a nice day. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks.
Kushal bro, thank you so much for joining, bro.
problem anytime. Yeah.
Bharat have just joined, but we
Yeah,
are
Bharat just
almost
joined.
done with the meeting.
Yeah, it's already
Thank you though.
Yeah.
I guess Sumant is there, but I don't know if he's my Sumant. I mean, our ISS Sumant, or if he's from a student.
Yeah.
Hi, Kushal.
You have to figure out. Yeah. Hi. Hi, Bharat. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Actually, I was like, I don't know that this meeting happening. Like, I'm in some other thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Yeah.
I think maybe you are appreciated your work and then listener to know.
So if someone wants to join or any WhatsApp groups, we guys have posted links on Facebook. Try searching University of Dayton ISA. You guys will get the links. There I have posted a link for our WhatsApp groups. Someone have just asked me. Please fill in the feedback form so that we'll know how to conduct our next session. Thank you. Kushal bro, let's get on a call.
Definitely. Yeah.
Just
Bye, everyone.
bye.